So our second speaker will be Professor Pei Tay from Malaysia. Professor Tay is the head of Department of Management at the School of Business and the director of Gerontechnology Laboratory at Monash University, Malaysia. She is passionate to drive research on how technology transforms business process and organizations, and on a huge spectrum of impacts on people's lives and society at large. Professor Tay founded the Gerontechnology Laboratory in Monash University, Malaysia in 2016, the first of its kind in Malaysia. Under her leadership, the Gerontechnology Laboratory successfully hosted the first and only Gerontechnology Symposium for 4 consecutive years, from 2017 to 2020, and Gerontechnology Challenge in 2018 in Asia. In 2019, the Gerontechnology Laboratory was chosen to be a highlight of the AACSB ICAM 2019 Innovations That Inspire Challenge. She is also an associate editor for 3 journals, namely Decision Sciences, Journal of Innovative Education, Gerontechnology Journal, and International Journal of Electronic Business. Professor Tay today will share on us on charting the ageless frontier, Gerontechnology for Life Tomorrow. Professor Tay, please.
Thank you, Teresa, for the wonderful and generous introduction. I would like to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Right. A very good afternoon to the distinguished members of ACAP committee and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the organizing committee for hosting this event. I feel honored to be invited to give a talk on Gerontechnology in Malaysia. It would be my pleasure for the next 15 minutes to share with you the overview of aging and technology in Malaysia and the journey and story of how the Gerontechnology Lab and research came to be, and the multidisciplinary research that we are doing and where we will go on from here. I'm not going to go into detail on the aging population statistic, but I would like to share with you what is happening in Malaysia. So in Malaysia, the total population was recorded at 32.7 million people in 2020. More importantly, it is estimated that 7% of us are senior citizens. That means it's 2.3 million of us aged 65 years and above. As you can see from this table, the tempo of aging population in Southeast Asia will accelerate in the next 9 years. So in less than 9 years, we're going to hit 10% for Malaysia. So we are sharing the same aging problem, but the problem is not the same. This is because the developed countries became rich before they became old, but the developing countries will become old before they become rich. So the growing concern of the issues of population aging led to the adoptions of different national policy for the elderly. So back then in 1995, we had this national policy for the elderly, but this is very surface that they cover on dignity and well-being of seniors. And then after a while, in 2008, they actually adopted the national health policy for the older persons, and they focused more on healthcare preventions and educations. And then 3 years later, 2011, they launched the National Policy for Older Persons and Plan of Actions for Older Persons that covers more on building capacity, caring society, and focus on age-friendly products and services. And then currently, they are preparing for National Actions Plan for Aging Population 2021 to 2025, and they focus on post-hospitalizations, on healthcare services, and also age-friendly environment. Okay, so these are just the detail. I'm not going to talk in detail. Okay, sorry. So home is where the heart is. So this proverb should guide thinking about living arrangement for the older adults. So housing options for older adults in Malaysia have increased in recent years. So there are a few retirement living such as Green Acres, Aura Sanctuary, either on a park built in both West and East Malaysia. So if you know Malaysia, this is West Malaysia and this is East Malaysia. So within each of these housing types, there is a wide range of technological support and care needs. So to quote for one example, Aura Sanctuary provides e-health monitoring device, traditional Chinese medicines, and they also incorporate some education activities like Aging Mastery Program and U3A program. And Eden on the Park, which is located in Kuching, Sarawak, is the first active senior living resort with an adjacent aged care facility in Malaysia. I visited the place before and it was really beautiful. They provide a full range of care and nursing services such as health tracking system. Mobile care retirement homes have three types of homes, the lower end, the middle, and the upper end. And they also provide different types of facilities. And recently, Prima Corporations, they are planning to build affordable and low-rise retirement villages in Penang and Malacca. And the Malaysian government has introduced different financial assistance for older adults. At the individual level, eligible older adults will receive Bantuan Orang Tua, that is about 500 ringgit Malaysia. If you convert to US, 120 per month. And the retired civil servant will get 300 ringgit Malaysia. And for home health services program was launched for any volunteers, despite whether you're old or young. So these volunteers will be trained and each of them will have to take care of a maximum of 4 older adults who live alone or are bedridden. So these volunteers, they must complete 16 visits and bring along some gifts during their services. And after that, they will receive about 400 ringgit from the government. So in Malaysia, the older adults are generally cared by their family members. There's a provisions of health aid for the carer of a person with disability or seniors, about 500 ringgit Malaysia. And there's tax exemptions of ringgit Malaysia 8,000. If you convert to USD, it's about 1,900 for medical treatment and special needs for the parents. And the government also encourage post-retirement employment. So at the organizational level, there is a tax deductions for companies hiring seniors aged 60 years and above. So the government have invested in senior citizen activity centers, or we call it PAWE, Pusat Aktivitas Warga Emas. Since March 2020, there is a total of 143 PAWE all around Malaysia. Their target is to build 222 by 2030. So what is PAWE? PAWE is a community place for senior citizens to perform their daily activities. And there are PAWE assistants, volunteers who help senior citizens to be digitally ready and tech savvy, make e-payments, and also spot fake news or scams. And we also have program unit Penyayang Warga Emas, is to provide transport services for seniors with mobility challenge to get medical treatment. Okay, so these are just the details. In Malaysia, the priority is given to healthcare professionals and seniors for the vaccination. So My Sejahtera apps was developed by the Malaysian government to manage COVID. So everyone in Malaysia is required to scan the app everywhere they go for health assessment and monitoring. So given that the older adults may find it difficult to use the app for registration, so there's a function to add vaccine dependence where others can register for them. So we also found that 37% of the Selangor citizens where I live now do not have smartphone, mobile phones, and internet access. So the seniors will actually get help from volunteers to register for them, and they will get their card with QR code and personal details upon registrations. So since 2020 March, we had went through 8 phases of MCO or partial lockdown. In a national ICT study, we found that COVID had increased the technology adoptions among older adults. So as you can see from here, we have like 57% of the seniors age 60 are using technologies and they are working on e-commerce. They also purchase goods, services online. You see there's a huge jump here, 9.7 to 25%. And then they also learn how to use internet banking, seeking health information, and also doing courses online, whether it's formal course or informal course, and watching TV online. And there are a couple of apps available in Malaysia. For example, Hire Seniors is a platform to connect seniors and retirees to companies in need of experience and skill resources. And we also have My Pusara, which is a smart application for retirees to access information and Hire Seniors actually partner with Khazanah Nasional to launch MyStep 2021. Seniors, they can be hired for 6 months by the host company. We also have Makcik Travels, which is a local application. Makcik is a Malay word, means auntie. User can make booking before 2 hours using WhatsApp, something very simple for the seniors to use. They can hire this service. And then we also have Teman Malaysia, which is a social enterprise that provides personalized care, accompanying services for the seniors. We also have Persatuan Mobility Selangor and KL, which offer service for van booking for the wheelchair users and travel assistance for transport services for anyone who have mobility challenge. Examples of mobile app for grocery and meal delivery includes Happy Fresh, GrabFoods, and Pop Meals. Recently, there's an award-winning project on virtual tourism for seniors that is powered by virtual reality. And then we have Homage, which is originally started in Singapore, and now they are in Malaysia. They introduced BioWebly, a web series. And one of the hot devices in Malaysia is Preventech. This is Malaysia's first seniors emergency response smart band. SmartPit is an AI health tech company that developed automated monitoring systems to prevent accidents and to assist the healthcare professionals. Other examples include digital health like BookDoc, GetDoc, Doctor2You, D2D Healthcare. Recollections is a mobile app developed by Maxis, one of the largest telco companies in Malaysia. And this app helps the elderly to revisit the memories that they capture on the phone, and it's particularly useful for dementia and Alzheimer's patients. And Care Concierge app enables family members to keep track of their elderly, their daily through their digital diary. So let me take you to a virtual tour to Monash University, Malaysia. We started in 1998. It's the first foreign university in Malaysia. And we had 8,900 students from 78 different countries. And the Jaran Technology Lab is one of the 12 research facilities in Monash, Malaysia. It was launched in 2016. And the lab builds upon Monash's long-standing traditions of creating socially relevant research, innovating educational practices, influencing policy making, fostering community university partnership, and sharing best practices with others. So this is our vision and mission. We have 3 key priority research areas for multidisciplinary research. So first, to harness the power of artificial intelligence and smart technologies to improve life. Second, to shape our future business and policy to capitalize on the longevity economy. And lastly, to make a sustainable impact on the life of our aging society. So in the lab, we also set up a volunteer community. Currently, we have 94 volunteers. And then this is the first workshop we have with senior alouds with Lily Fu, and she's here in the chat room today. And because of COVID, we actually moved to virtual workshop, and we partner with Alzheimer's and Teman Malaysia to offer these services for their patients and their volunteers. And we also hosted visits from Taiwan as well. And then we had 2 exoskeleton in the lab, and we took this for a showcase in Petroscience in 2019. And then we had the privilege to present our work to the former Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad before. And then we had a session with Grab back then in 2017. And then we also showcased the H. Simpson suit to the general public. We had the challenge in 2018. And every year we organize the symposium. Sorry, it's a bit lagging here. Okay, yeah, so every year we organize the symposium, and then started for last year we had a virtual version. Let me just bring you through what are we doing in the lab. So the word Jaran Technology is a combination of word gerontology and technology. And then under this domain, we cover 5 human activities, which is health and self-esteem, housing and daily living, mobility and transport, communications and governance, and work and leisure. And in this table, you can see that we have different projects. And the one in black means ongoing or completed. The red one is future project. And those book one are those I'm going to highlight in today's presentations. So our work are published in these journals. So Ambulate Me is a project by our School of Engineering. They built an exoskeleton to assist in sit-to-stand and ambulation. A patent is filed for this prototype. And then this is our first soft robots that we designed for the seniors. And this robot can autonomously navigate in environment, detect object, and drop the object to a specific location selected by the user. We later improved this prototype design. And then another project I would like to highlight is this near-field communication set-top box home system and the smartphone home system. It's an IoT prototype. So user can tap the phone on the photo interface and the app will launch automatically. And user just tap to turn on and off of the home appliances that they want to control. And this Ladybird is actually a Raspberry Pi. It's act as a set-top box for the non-smartphone users. So we were very privileged to join the public university to work on Ageless project. So Monash played a role on the project 5, which is to develop the mobility solutions. Let me just show you one video of our first version of that app. So we call it a Picnic app. Just a quickly wrap up. Yeah, I know I've taken a lot of time. So this is one of the project we did with Sunway City. So we actually get the seniors living in the Sunway City to come to Monash. We have this lighting booth to see how lighting affect the cognitive. And then we also took them for a tour to experience that taking the public transport, the sustainable transport, and using smartphone to get the free shuttle bus ride. And our work has been reported by Sunway Group in their sustainable report. And then this is our recent project work with Thammasat University on women in tech application. So at the national level, the government has been looking at producing multi-dimensional aging index. And then there are other universities like University Putra Malaysia, they are looking at developing database for every senior citizens, leverage on big data algorithm. And then we really look into promoting greater public-private partnerships for care services, and then develop more age-friendly facilities and digital devices. So from the humble inception of Jariran Technology Lab, we plan to develop, into research centers. And this is where we're going to focus on the healthcare facility. We have limited resources, but we use the resources efficiently. We hope to actively collaborate with university, business, and government locally and internationally to improve the life of seniors. So if you're interested to work with us, please contact us. Thank you.
Wow, very, very impressive sharing. Thank you so much, Professor Tay, for a very comprehensive presentation on Jariran technology policy, service, and products in Malaysia.